Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
It is something that's been around for hundreds of years and can really totally change your life. But a lot of people, when they hear this word, put up a block thinking, I can't do that, or that's a little too woo-woo for me. It's not going to really make a difference. It can make a huge difference in you mentally and physically. I am talking about yoga. We're going to learn today really what it is and what it's not, which most of us usually think Pilates as well. And she is an instructor and the woman behind Grace Yoga and Pilates in Virginia. She's Beth Weber. She joins us on the program today. Hey, Beth, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. I have to do yoga. Second time today, it has showed up in my world in some kind of reference. Again, here we are. What do you say to people when they consider yoga and then turn around and say, yeah, that's very physical. I don't have that mobility. I can't do yoga. What do you say to that?
Well, that's where everyone starts. I've been doing it maybe 20 years, and nobody can touch their toes when they start. It's just like any other endeavor that you start with. You start where you are, and then little by little you get better and better and stronger, and your mind gets more into it, and you just get better. It's always a practice. No one is perfect. Even teachers and stuff, they practice and practice, and practice makes perfect, even though none of this is perfect, but you got to start somewhere.
Yeah. And I think more than ever is so important because sitting is the new smoking. And so many of
Definitely.
us, on Zoom videos, since COVID, our mobility, and I speak firsthand on this. I was in, I thought, great shape 2 years ago, had a trainer, went to the gym, not yoga yet. And then life changed a little bit, would sit more, and then gained a little bit of weight. And then I realized when I went back into working out about a month or so ago, I'm like, what has happened? Oh, touch your toes? Like not even, I wouldn't even consider doing that. That is like a stretch, no pun intended, even at this time. Um, but yoga can help you along with that. And now I see why it's so important because of the stretching. And you always hear this, hold that pose. You need to, when you're in a stretch, hold it, maybe 30 seconds. I don't know. I'm far from the expert. But is that true? That's why we hold?
Well, you can, but if your body won't let you hold that long, then like say you do what you can, and maybe you can always go back to a resting pose,
Hmm.
and the teachers always provide um another way to do it, or modifications. Like say it's not like you have to do a headstand your first day. You just start where your body will let you and work up to it. And if you can hold it that long, that's good. Some of the classes are like a flow, and you don't really hold it that long. You just kind of ease in from one pose to another.
Hmm.
So there's different types of yoga. So
For you, I want to talk about your journey. And by the way, side note, what we're talking about here, what you offer with Grace Yoga and Pilates, we'll get to Pilates in a moment. This can be done anywhere, can be done
oh
virtually.
yes, yes.
Okay. Your journey into yoga, where did it all start?
Well, my first teacher, like say probably 20 years ago, is the one that got me hooked. And of course, what really gets you hooked is the relaxation at the end. But we followed her around everywhere, and we finally got a permanent space. So the lady I bought it from opened it in 2014. So we're coming up on our 10-year anniversary. I bought it in December of 2019. And then, of course, COVID hit in March. So we were a small studio. You write her a check, you show up, and we had to do a complete 180 and, update our website, get a scheduling program, and put, everything on Zoom for a month or two because COVID, shut everything down. But that's the great thing about the Zoom. We could keep going. So, it's not like we missed anything, but that's that's one of the better things to come out of COVID is our Zoom classes.
Wow. Um, what made you do yoga? Was there an event? Were there something in your life? Did you just need a change? You wanted more flexibility? What did it for you?
Well, probably all of the above, but back in the day, this lady had put an ad in the newspaper, and my sister had tried it, and she's like, "Oh, you would like that." It's like, okay. So I went to this first class, and this lady was very knowledgeable, which all of our teachers have the 200-hour training at minimum. And I don't know, it's just was an hour that I could concentrate. I could leave the rest of life behind. Her thing at the end was like, you have nowhere to be, you have nothing to do. You just sit here and relax and, let your mind just kind of blank out. So it was nice to get away from real life for a few minutes, and it was time for me.
Hmm.
So I just enjoyed doing it and being with a group of like-minded ladies and men once in a while. So,
You talk about the relaxation at the end. What do you mean by that?
well, of course, teachers do it differently, but you lay there, you get comfortable, and you kind of soak it all in. Some of them play a music, meditation. Some of them like read a poem. They just do different things, but you just kind of drop into yourself. You block out the rest of the world, and I mean, of course, people have fallen asleep, so
Mhm.
but you just kind of let all the stuff in your mind just wash away, and you just kind of, I don't know, sometimes you feel like you're just, I guess the word zen maybe, but it's just nice to get away from everything and just let your mind relax and let your body relax. And
Would you say that the the relaxation at the end is sort of like the dessert? You have your meal and you look
exactly.
forward to it. Like, oh, dessert's coming once I finish dinner. Yoga is the dinner, and the relaxation at the end is the dessert.
Exactly. It's the best part. You feel good, your body's stretched out,
Hmm.
you blocked out everything. And yes, that's a good analogy.
So Pilates, what is Pilates?
Well, either people don't know what it is or they think it's too hard, but it's not. Pilates is mostly it's core work. And if your stomach muscles are weak, then your back muscles are weak. And quite a few people have back issues, and it strengthens the front and the back. It strengthens the obliques on the side. When you get older, well, like if you're driving and you turn around to get something out of the back seat, well, not if you're driving, but if you're sitting still, but that turning motion, your abs and everything, that's a good foundation for the rest of your body. So that's, like I say, people think it's hard, but it's just like yoga. You start where you are and you do what you can and you build up to it.
Is one more challenging than the other? Pilates, yoga.
Uh, I think Pilates is more challenging because, like I say, it's more core work. The lady that teaches our class has been a fitness instructor for many years, and a lot of times hers is like a whole body thing. We lift weights while we're doing wall sits, or your whole body's involved, but it's basically around your core.
Hmm. Tell me a story of somebody that did yoga and it changed their lives, and how did it change their lives?
Well, all of our teachers have their little bio on our website, which you can read those. But
Hmm.
I don't know. A lot of people, they're just so stressed out with their job and their kids and home life and trying to do it all. This is a way you can take your time just for you. I mean, everybody needs to get away, and it's only an hour and 15 minutes. It's not a lot of time. A lot of people do it once a week. Most, of course, all the teachers have like a daily practice. I do yoga one day a week and Pilates one day a week, so I get both. But you're mindful in the moment, and it not only gets your mind away from it, it strengthens your body in the meantime. And a lot of people, do meditation, and that's hard for me personally, but you just, let the world slip away for a little while, and you're in your own little cocoon, as it were. And
Hmm. How does the mind come into play when you're doing yoga? Because it's my understanding that it's physical, but also at the same time, there's a mind portion of it. I've heard it referred to as like a sort of a meditated state when you're doing yoga. But how would you describe the mind portion?
well, you're concentrating on what you're doing, and like say you're in the moment, and being mindful of your body and where you are spatially in space in your own little area, whether it be at home or whether it be in the studio.
Hmm.
And I don't know, for me, I just block everything else out, and I'm focusing on what I'm doing. And I don't know, I don't know what else to say.
Do you get clarity, when you're doing yoga, in terms of the mind portion? Um, is it, I got to believe it is some quality, peaceful time spent.
Oh, it is. It is. You can have mental calmness, and like so you concentrate on what you're doing then. And that can, if you let some of your worries go away, that can help improve sleep. There are certain poses that are good to get you in that mindset to go to sleep. There's certain poses to help you wake up. Some give you energy, some calm you down. Like you say, it's been around for thousands of years, so there's plenty of different um series of poses, for whatever you need that day.
Sure.
And everything is different. Some days, you can reach your toes. Some days you can't. Your balance is different from left to right. Your balance is different from day to day. Your balance is
Hmm.
different from morning to evening. Your body can only do what it can do. So, but it's always different.
I appreciate you bringing that up because I'm realizing that now, after sitting for a long time, finally getting back into some mobility, there are some days where, one leg's working better and feels stronger. There's other days where, oh, no, that's not, I gotta do something
Exactly.
else. Um,
Exactly.
so I can seriously see that coming into play when you're doing yoga because it's, there's a little bit of a physical demand on you.
Yes, and you're concentrating on that. You're not concentrating on, I got to go to the store, I got to do laundry, I got to do this, that, or the other. You're
Mm.
concentrating on your body, and, trying to balance and stuff. So, but we also have chair yoga, so you need to do that if you're sitting a lot.
That is a thing. I'm hearing that as a
Yes, it
thing.
is.
Hmm. Uh, and there are, and it's not even, I don't want to say that it's so much easier than regular yoga, but it's different. It seems very
It's a good
different.
place to start. If you
Hmm.
don't, I mean, a lot of people like, well, I don't know the names of the poses and all that, but the teachers cue you as to what to do. And of course, you're watching them. Our classes are live. It's not like you're watching a
Uh,
video, or, you got to stop it and start it and all that. Our teachers will help you, like say, modify things. But the chair yoga is a good place to start, especially for people that can't get down on the floor, and they just want to start
sure.
slower.
When you're doing the live sessions, can the teacher see the students or is that optional?
Oh, as long as you leave your camera on, yeah, they can see you. And if you need to stop them, you unmute yourself and say, "Hey, I don't understand that," or it's not like they don't care if they're interrupted. That's why they're there. They want to help you and watch you. And I know it's not as good as seeing you in the studio, but yes, they can see you on the camera. And if you don't want them to, then you can cut your camera off. But yeah, they will stop the class and help you. That's or modify something. That's they don't mind doing that at all.
Hmm. How often do you do your classes?
We have a 10 a.m. class Monday through Saturday. We have a couple of evening classes and the chair yoga. We have one lady, she does a special program on osteoporosis. And, we have a couple different special programs, here and there, nutrition or, different things.
Wow. How has yoga changed your life, Beth?
Well, it just I don't know, it's just part of me now. I mean, I've done it for so
Hmm.
long, it's hard for me to tell somebody new about it, but it's given me more. I've got my own self-confidence for one, because I've gotten stronger, and my balance is better, and I feel like I can take better care of myself and my family physically. And then mentally, if you're having a bad day or something, you just go within and you get rid of all that stuff and you think about, something else. Like, say, the teachers guide you in a meditation, and you do a lot of visualization, and it just gets you away from everything so you can take care of yourself, which is important.
Isn't it amazing how it becomes a way of life? And I'm saying this, I've started eating cleaner, and it takes some time to make it become part of your life. But now I get to the point where if I don't have something that is like decent food, like the other night I was in a rush, I didn't eat. I didn't, I knew I needed to eat something. It was very at the end of the day and had many hours left. So I stopped at a gas station, got a protein bar, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I really don't want to do this. I want to eat better. And I realized that has now become somewhat of a part of my life where I'm mindful of it. And I see the same
Exactly.
thing. If you expect to do yoga, it is part of you. Like you look forward to it. You look and
Exactly.
right?
Well, I mean, you can do, like, say, you do a class once a week, and then you can do your own practice at home. So it's not, I mean, you can do it any day, anytime, anywhere, whenever you have, even if you have 5 or 10 minutes. It's not like you have to do an entire hour class. If you got 5 minutes in the evening, you put your legs up the wall, and that, calms your nervous system and can help you sleep. It just improves all areas of your life in one way or another.
Hmm. What do you need? Is it just a yoga mat?
That's pretty much it. We have a lot of props. We have blocks and things, like, say, if you can't touch your toes, then we'll give you some blocks and you bend over as far as you can. Obviously, we don't want you to hurt yourself, but there's, plenty of props and bolsters and things, to make it easier. And, like, say, the chair yoga, you're always holding on to the chair. If your balance isn't good yet, then, you're not going to fall because you're holding on to your chair. So, and, like, say, the Pilates teacher, we use 2 or 3 pound weights, just to get a little arm work in,
Oh,
you
okay.
know, like, so you're, doing like a total body workout, but you're concentrating on your core.
Wow. How many years have you been practicing yoga Pilates?
Pilates, probably, I don't know, 6, 7 years. That class came in later, but probably yoga at least 20.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
but I did not want the studio to close. That's the main reason that I bought it, because we have a nice little community, and everybody needs a place to go to get away, even if it's just for the hour. So I
Hmm.
wanted to keep our community. So that's why I bought the studio, because the other previous owner wanted to retire. It's like, no, we've got to have somewhere to go. So
Good for you. Wow. That's fantastic. That you saw the vision of it's a place. We need that place.
exactly.
But I think it goes even deeper than just call it exercise.
Exactly.
It turns into a lifestyle of
Yes.
positivity and empowerment for people in practicing yoga. A quick story, we talk about how it's changed lives. So a man who used to be my boss back in the day, and then we just continue being friends. And we have been for, my gosh, 25 plus years. He about 6, 7 years ago needed heart surgery. Found out, just went for a regular checkup, and they said, "Oh, we have a problem here. You're going to the hospital." He went within a few days, major heart surgery, even to the point where with the respiration situation, he couldn't even talk uh, for a couple of months. And then when this was all dust kind of settled, he started doing yoga. And he says that was the ticket to my recovery and speedy recovery. And and he was always a very powerful, inspirational person then. He is so much more now and inspires others. And it started with his yoga journey after the
Yes.
surgery.
Well, we have, we have this one lady, she's like 80 years old. She fell and broke her hip, but because she had strong muscles and all that and a strong will, then she got better a whole lot quicker. And of course, yoga can help osteoporosis. I don't know if she had that or not, but you have your own body weight. It's not like you're out there, lifting 25-pound weights. You've got your own body weight. It helps so many things. I mean, it can, help weight loss because you build muscle and that burns fat, and it can help osteoporosis and, help depression, and it can just help a lot of things.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't even think of those things.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason it's been around for centuries.
Exactly.
If it didn't work, we wouldn't be talking about it in 2024. It would have gone away a long time ago.
Exactly.
Wow. Can anybody do yoga, barring some major physical challenges?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. You don't have to have any special equipment. You don't have to have any weights or, anything. You just have you and your mat. That's all you need.
I bet if you have good carpeting, you don't need a mat.
Pretty much, yes.
I would imagine. I would need a mat. I don't have a stitch of carpeting in my place, but
it's harder to balance on carpet, but still.
Okay, just learned something. Thank you for
Yes.
sharing that. Any other things that in the last couple of minutes here that you want people to know? The myths about yoga, or just some enlightenment?
Well, whether you choose yoga or Pilates, or like I say, I do both of them, you're concentrating, you're in control of your time and your body. The stronger you get, you can prevent injuries. Like I say, our teachers, they help you with your proper alignment, and it can improve posture. Just, various array of things. Like I say, there are different types of yoga. So we have, like, I've seen yoga for golfers. It concentrates on whatever your sport is, muscles that you're going to be using for that. And,
Sure.
football players, cross country runners, it runs the gamut of
Wow.
what different poses you can do to help your particular sport.
How do we find you, find out more if somebody wants to take a class, or just even have some questions, Beth?
Our email is graceyogaroanoke.com. Please feel free to reach out there, or Facebook, either one. I don't think we're that hard to find. I would be happy if anybody wanted to email us and offer you a free class. Just go to our website and decide which class you want. Email me and tell me you heard about us here, and we'd be happy to sign you up, just to try out, like I say, we have in-studio classes here in Roanoke, which we're about, a few hours south of Richmond. But, you can get us on Zoom anywhere, for any of our classes.
Excellent. And just to double check, the website is what?
The website is graceyogaandpilates.com.
Gotcha. Thank you so much for today. Thanks for all the details and the insight. And
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's so good for you. Got to get into it, and I appreciate it. Thank you again.
So you do some chair yoga there in your chair.
You're challenging me. Yeah, I should. I will. Not. I'm going to take that back. I'm not. I should. I will. And it's become a thing. And you know what? I've been seeing it more and more in social media feeds, and it just looks like, especially for mobility. Again, sitting is a new smoking. We don't need any of that.
Well, anything you can do, the older you get, to take care of yourself, I think it's worth your time. So.
And there's where the stretching comes in. You don't realize it until you try to do it later in life, how important it is, and how much you can't do what you thought you could do.
Exactly.
Thanks, Beth. We'll catch up soon. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.